On our planet, unexplored worlds have become rare, but some impenetrable islands still exist that we call lost worlds. Evard Vandenbal, geologist and adventurer, made a promise to himself to explore them all in order to better protect them. In Madagascar, he singled out the Makay Massif.
The Makai, seen from the sky, appears to be a type of desert, which gives the impression of a mineral labyrinth. It's important to appreciate that if you enter these valleys, you won't know if you'll get out the other side, or even make progress.
For more than 10 years, Evard has ventured into this labyrinth of canyons to bring back proof of its extraordinary biodiversity.
And we're off.
This year, he's organising a scientific expedition to index the flora and fauna that's endemic to the massif, in order to preserve this unique place that's threatened by man. All around the massif, bushfires are regularly started to cultivate the land. These uncontrolled fires penetrate the massif and destroy its ecosystem. Through his actions, Evard is trying to educate the local population on the preservation of the Makai. The results of this expedition should enable the massif to be classified as a protected area by the Madagascar state. In order to do that, it will be necessary to outsmart the mineral labyrinth traps to reach an unexplored valley, the most inaccessible. The Makai is situated slightly to the southwest of Madagascar, and it covers a large territory, half the size of Corsica. This geological creation isn't easy to penetrate, and you need to be autonomous to engage in an exploration which will last 6 weeks. The expedition is on a very big scale, and it involves the cooperation of the Malagasy villagers, who are themselves interested in the Makai preservation program. In fact, these men and women ensure the logistics and survival of the 50 or so researchers and eco-volunteers.
I had no particular qualification to protect these places, to say that this massif deserved to be protected more than another one. So I called scientists to try to make an inventory of everything that could be in the massif, and to try and find out if there really was a unique biodiversity.
Where's the baby?
There.
Oh, the little shoot.
There, yes. Look at the baby there.
Oh, yes, great.
In fact, there are 2 of them there. Platycerium. That's a pretty name, isn't it?
We have archaeologists, ornithologists, herpetologists, entomologists, botanists, etc., who have come to define the state of health of these forests.
Is that the cyclopoida? And the other one, the harpactoid, is it different in the other tube?
Yes. Can you give me a bit of light?
Once they make their first foray into the Makai, around the camp they take the opportunity to take stock of the material that will have to be carried. Around the Menapenda River, which served as an entry point, the flora and fauna already appear to be specific.
Excellent. It's really beautiful. Is that the one you caught this morning?
Yes. It's a little African pygmy kingfisher.
Okay.
It's funny, if you put the kingfishers on their back, they don't move, so it's very practical.
All birds or just these?
Just the kingfishers.
That's crazy.
He's not happy.
Oh, that's great.
Half an ounce.
Half an ounce? What's he doing, playing dead?
Yes, a bit.
It's been 2 weeks since the mission stopped at the advanced camp in the Makai. There will still be 2 or 3 camps to set up before they can penetrate the deeps of the massif. This first camp allows the researchers to acclimatise and especially to refine their study protocols, which they will have to deploy on this new tropical terrain. The scientific programme recruits a few French specialists, but mainly young graduate Malagasys.
There are 3 of them just on the trees there.
Oh, he's posing. Is he aware you're taking a photo?
Evard provides them with logistics and support so they can reach the most remote places. He does everything to help them find the specimens, to classify them, and to illustrate them for their scientific publication.
Wow, he's jumping. Fantastic. Okay?
Yes.
There, look. We're starting to see them from here. The first baobab. We can see it here. Well, I don't know if it's a baobab, but there's a second one behind, hidden behind the pandanus. There might be a small one just alongside it. Can you see it? It has a sort of twisted trunk. But it's difficult to say if it's a baobab. It looks like it from here. In any case, if it is a baobab, it's the first one. These are the first baobabs that we've seen in the Makai. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's the first time I've climbed a baobab. It's fantastic. It's amazing. And there's an incredible view. Excellent.
There are 9 known species of baobab in the world, 1 in Australia and the rest in Africa or Madagascar. But until now, no baobab had been registered in the Makai. For the Malagasy botanist, it's already very good news.
Clearly, there are several trees in Madagascar which have trunks a bit like this.
Yes, it could be Hildegardia or Dolonix. But here, we've stumbled upon a baobab.
Yes, this is a beautiful baobab.
It's a great discovery.
So is it an old or young one?
According to the diameter and height, considering that the baobabs have a very, very long growth, I think that this is a very, very, very old one.
It's very old.
Yes.
Good, it would be great to install a hammock, wouldn't it? I believe that baobabs don't have exactly the same structure as the others, is that right? They're not like normal trees.
No. Considering that, to start with, they're full of water, it gives them a look that's not very smooth, but a little...
Lumpy like that?
Yes. And apart from that, it's going to be a bit hollower inside. So people aren't going to use it. And it doesn't do much.
It's not good wood. You can't really do anything with it.
No. That's what keeps it alive. Because if it was a wood that people use, I don't think it would still exist in Madagascar.
They would all be gone, that's for sure. What is surprising is that there are a lot of species that can survive, well, which live in these canyons here, like the canarium, for example, or beautiful trees like this one. And go figure, there are 4 individual ones placed right on a very small hill clinging to the cliff. To the point where it's so much on the headland that on one side there's about a 30-foot drop, and on the other side it's 330 or so feet leading straight down to the river. It's really crazy that they got to hang on to this tiny pocket of land.
And at the end of the cliff, hanging on to a cliff.
First, we'll go into the murmuring forest above. You know, the small buccaneer shelter forest? And afterwards, on our way back, instead of going down the Manapanda, we'll go down the Makai.
Everyone is finally reunited, so it's the big departure. The second camp is estimated to be a bit more than 2 days away on foot, following the river. 60 people will have to live autonomously for another 4 weeks. Evard has never taken a team so deep into the Makai.
Despite all our efforts and all our research, there are still some pockets of the forest that have never been studied, never explored. That's the goal of this 2017 mission. It allows me to bring scientists to a place where initially, the first time I set foot here, I could never have brought them. Because you can't read the Massif like that. It's too difficult. You need to come here once or twice or even 4 times, and then you discover that there are tiny, tiny paths. That takes time. Oh, wow!
Even during the approach walks, you have to be attentive. The discoveries slow down the progress, but these encounters, however small, can prove to be unique.
What's that?
It's a kind of mantella. So there's a chance that it's a hybrid between 2 species. A Bitsilio that we already know to be here, and a Kowani, which is a species that's never been seen before in the Makai.
So wait, how do you know it could be a hybrid? Because it has colors from both species.
Exactly, that's it. They're the same shape, but the red brick back, the flanks which are black like that with stripes, that's really representative of the Mantella Bitsilio, one of the species that has already been found in the Makai. And the stomach, there you can see the whitish blue spots, that's representative of the Kowani.
So where's the Kowani supposed to be located?
More to the east, and that encompasses a bit of the southern part of the Makai. So it's for that reason that we were hoping to see one before leaving. That was one of the top priorities of our exploration. So this is great.
One of your objectives was to find this?
Yes, at least one species of mantella, a type of mantella.
Bitsilio or Kowani?
That's right, and perhaps this one is a cross between the 2 species.
Can we put it on its back afterwards?
We can, yes. I'll have to hold it.
Look, we're just arriving at the trunks I spoke to you about the other day.
Oh, yes.
Look, it arrives here and crosses to the other side. The canyon passed through and cut the trunk. It's all black, it looks like coal. And on the face of it, it's not coal. It's just a trunk which burnt before it was buried and petrified. In fact, when you look at these little lines of pebbles, here, we can see it really clearly. We're in a sediment zone. There are astronomical quantities of grains of sand, then pebbles, then grains of sand, then pebbles, then gravel and whatnot, which have settled here for millions of years. Depending on the climate, depending on the speed of water which brings this waste, this detritus from the mountain range, you're going to have either pebbles because there is water which carries along the big pebbles, or very fine grains of sand which are there because there's not enough current to take the big pebbles all the way here. And then, at any given moment, you're going to have a major event. I can't tell you what, but it's going to be, I don't know, an enormous cyclone or a gigantic fire which burns huge swathes of forest, and these forests end up being carried away in the water. And therefore, all these trunks you've seen have several levels. They were all deposited like that at the bottom, and they are covered in sand. That protects it from the oxygen so it doesn't rot. It remains exactly as it is in the sand for tens of thousands of years. And then afterwards, it needs time. Imagine that inside this massif, there is water permanently running, which dissolves the silica. because that is nearly 100% silica. And this silica is going to arrive at the trunk and transform, bit by bit, the carbon atom which is inside this trunk into a silica atom. And in fact, that's how wood becomes petrified and transforms into rock.
It mineralizes vegetable matter.
Exactly. It takes a few thousand years. Here we can see clearly that it's burnt. It's kept exactly the same form. That's what's astonishing about fossilized wood. It must be, give or take, 150 million years old. It's an old man. Come on, let's continue. Each time I tell myself, I've already seen everything, I'm going to get bored. But in fact, each time I return, I tell myself, this was the best trip ever. So it continues for me to be a fantastic playground, a land of fantastic adventure. There isn't one bend, one meander of a canyon which resembles the one before. There isn't one little patch of green, one little patch of forest which resembles the one it's next to. I'm having as much fun as the first time, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure I know where we are. We're here. And if we climb up the crests, yes, we can still climb. We're going to go up to the left and go to this plateau. It's good, Phil. I know where we actually are.
It's not easy to find yourself in this labyrinth of canyons where no map has been drawn. Evard strays from the path with a small experienced group to reach higher grounds. They leave the humidity at the bottom of the canyons for a drier vegetation, just at the summit of a peak that he has located on Google Earth. The Makai Mountains peak at more than 3,280 feet, and its rock is very crumbly. Its geological formation is Evard's domain. He is keen to do this little detour by the Crests, which is also ideal terrain for the birds of prey specialists.
Here, we can clearly see the layers which are superimposed, and suddenly it explains how all that was created dozens of millions of years ago underwater. We call those massifs detrital massifs because they are, in fact, made of detritus from another range of mountains, which has been eroded over some dozens of millions of years. And the produce of the erosion has been deposited in a gigantic sedimentary basin, and that has created beds of sand and conglomerate, several miles thick. And as it's originated from water, it's ended up being eroded again. And since it's made of grains of sand, it erodes very quickly, a little bit like a sandcastle, and that leaves breathtaking hills. It looks like a giant brain. There are hundreds, thousands even, of small canyons which cross and intersect, and that leaves a natural and unique labyrinth.
Listen, you can hear the sunbird.
Ah, yes. Incredibly beautiful. You've really captured it.
Yes, it really is a magnificent bird. Frankly, really superb. It's a new species to the Makai, Accipiter hensti, hence goshawk. It has eyebrows that are very distinct, the brow bone too, and it has fine stripes just under the throat.
And is it a pretty rare animal too? And does it exist somewhere other than Madagascar? Are they everywhere in Africa, or is this an endemic animal here?
Endemic to Madagascar. So if you like, we can even hear the warning call of the female. So that's the call she makes when you approach her nest. Well, I've annoyed her a little by photographing her. We needed proof of the presence of this species. So here we have the soundtrack, we have the photos. We're all good to say, here you go, this species is present in the Makai. Another good piece of data for the Makai.
Great, that's a good one.
With this new discovery, the Makai has become the most populated area of diurnal birds of prey in Madagascar. It's a veritable refuge for these animals threatened with extinction. At altitude, the environment is more pleasant for humans, even if it's drier. In any case, Evard has discovered traces of ancient human presence.
You see, they came to grind something here. Cereals, I don't know what. I don't know what they had at the time, but it's proof of human presence, and that must mean that there must be more. It's for that reason that it was worth bringing the archaeologists. Right. And then tomorrow I need to find water, because there isn't any here. We're not going to last long with the small amount of water that we have in the can. In fact, this morning when we awoke, there was a certain lethargy. Actually, it wasn't lethargy, just simply the fact that we had no water. So, on waking, I went to look for a source.
Finding water in these conditions firstly consists of locating the luscious vegetation at the bottom of the gorges. Evard comes across a riverbed, unfortunately dry, so he walks along it hoping to find the source.
It's running, but not enough. Ah, there is a little pool. Good, but not enough water there for me. Oh yes, paintings. That's good. I know someone who's going to be very happy. Antoine for Evard. Antoine for Evard. Antoine for Evard. Antoine for Evard.
Yes, Evard, I can hear you. What's going on?
Are you still at the camp?
Yes, I'm still at the camp. I'm writing up a couple of things.
I think you need to prepare a bag, because I think there's something that's going to interest you. I was looking for water. I didn't find any, but I've just come across some paintings. I can see some ceramics down here. I think it's really worth you coming here.
Okay, where exactly?
I'm just at the bottom of the pyramid opposite the camp. Can you see the big mountain at the other side of the forest? There was a dihedron right in front of the summit, and then a big pinkish cliff at the bottom on the left. I'm at the foot of the big pink cliff. There's a little grotto. I'm waiting for you there. Up here, just above you. Hi.
Hey. Wow. They're everywhere.
Yeah. As you can see, there are symbols, triangles, circles.
Colors have been used too.
And then you see, without doubt, they came here because there was water. That's what I was looking for. So I came by foot from the cliff, thinking that perhaps there was a little resurgence. Unfortunately, there is a tiny drip, but that's not going to help us much.
In any case, the paintings are going to help us.
Yes, that's great.
Fantastic.
Here we are in a playground, archaeologically in any case, which is so interesting. And what we have to imagine is that some dozens or hundreds or perhaps even thousands of years ago, possibly, people used to come here. And the question is, why did they come here? What were they doing here? Because it's a cul-de-sac. They can't get to another place in the Makai. So it's really a place where they had to find a reason to come, either to hide maybe, or because there was something interesting to look for in this forest. Maybe medicinal plants. In any case, on the platform where we're sleeping, there are 2 mortars. There is a shelter under the rock with paintings. There are ceramics up there. It could be that there are other ceramics and other paintings not far. Lots of things happened. People didn't just pass through, otherwise there wouldn't be a mortar. The mortar is really proof that they settled for a certain amount of time and that they cooked. They did things here. But what? Why?
Near the archaeological sites, Evard finds a bit of water, which gives the necessary energy to get the whole group going again. They start to descend towards the rest of the team, who have to follow a less steep hill. The objective is still in sight. They are still heading for the center of the massif to seek the best route to the lost valley of the Makai. The intermediary bivouac is ideal and offers different ecosystems for all the studies. There won't be a shortage of water, the temperature is mild, and there are no mosquitoes. Scientists and artists share the beach, some more efficient and more inspired than others.
Globally, we have captured on our cameras nearly all types of animals.
How many cameras did you have in total?
We had 9 cameras for the 3 weeks.
Okay.
When I say all types of animals, I'm talking about lemurs. That is the female and that's the male. I also have some bush pigs.
Yes?
And finally, we have our target, the fusa, the carnivore. It's like the merging of a big puma with the head of a dog, meaning that it can climb trees to catch lemurs. It's the biggest carnivore endemic to Madagascar.
The scientists require several days of exploration around the bivouac. Each one chooses their terrain relative to their discipline, with a secret hope of finding a rare pearl.
in the process of installing a cord system in a tree to try to construct a platform for Jeremy, who is the team photographer, especially to try to capture the birds flying by. But not only them, also the lemurs, who will be on the canopy.
Elegantly does it.
It's important work for us because that gives us an indication at 0 hour of the quantity, let's say, of the lemurs and of the balance of each group. And if we reproduce this each year, we'll be able to see if the groups increase, diminish, if there are more groups, less groups, and we'll be able to specify if the forest is more and more adapted to them, or if it suffers damage that directly impacts them, or even if they are subject to poaching.
All the lemur species are endemic to Madagascar. When the first humans arrived on the island 2,000 years ago, they noticed some lemurs were as tall as them. For the Malagasy, the lemurs embody the spirit of the forest, hence the name, which means ghost.
We have one. I'm going to catch it for you.
Goodness, what is this thing?
That's a fly from the Diopsidae family. Their particularity is to have their eyes on the end of two long peduncles, like that, hammerhead shark style.
What's that for? It must be useful for something to have your eyes on the end of an antenna like that.
Their function isn't really known. We think that it plays a role in choosing a mate. The males have a bit of a fight to be the one with the biggest peduncles. The females will choose the winner of the fight.
It's a seduction trick.
Yes, a bit like with peacocks and deers with their antlers.
Do you find this creature a lot here?
We found 2 or 3 species here. It's a species we see mainly below the equator or in tropical countries. There's only 1 species in Europe, but the eyes aren't separated like this one.
Evard is constantly investigating and locating new terrain for the specialists to study. While scouting, he's also searching for a new route to take the team and to get everyone on the move. they still need to go further, towards the most hidden valley in the Makai. But there are often dead ends. It's out of the question to send the porters and the hundreds of pounds of equipment for hours without being sure that they won't have to turn around.
Here we have a little underwater passage. It's a very small passage. There is an 8-foot tall rock, but to climb it would be a really tiring endeavor, so we're going to pass underneath. It's just over 3 feet, a little siphon, where we need to dive, and behind, you'll arrive in a gallery which is this size, and you're going to exit it. Then you'll need to move like this in the water. The water will be up to your head. You might not be able to touch the bottom. And for the bags, we're going to pass them over the rock, and then those who arrive first at the bottom, they will come back from below to go and help with shuttling the bags back and forth. Staying several weeks in a forest like this ends up being very tiring. It's tiring mentally, it's tiring physically, and therefore when we walk through these canyons, it can be a little scary. And we are still obliged to take them up there because otherwise they will miss out on their subject of study. Everyone okay? Everyone still alive? So far so good. There's still one passage. Let's just say that there's water. This puts them in a vulnerable state, if I may say so, but also in a proud state for having succeeded to cross this passage, to have succeeded in doing something that they would never have planned to do initially. But that's what's great in these adventures. It's not just science, not just an easy walk. It's also putting into question their own physical and psychological capabilities, and that's what's rather nice.
C'est ça qui est assez sympa.
Look, Evard.
What have we found here? Oh, good God, a crab.
I just took it from here.
Do you know that's the first one? The first crab that we found here in the Makai. I've never seen one before. Are there a lot of crabs in fresh water in Madagascar?
From what I know, there aren't really a lot of species of crab in freshwater. I think there are 6 types, 17 species from memory that are left.
That's nothing.
So that's not much. The latest distribution maps show data mainly from the northern and eastern parts of the country, and here we're in the southwest.
Completely the opposite direction.
These are species, in any case, crabs, which evolve in a relatively small territory. So if they're here, there's perhaps a chance for new species.
That would be brilliant. And to find that here, frankly, that's unexpected.
That would be a scoop, a new species of crab. Not the prettiest one, but a first for the Makai, having adapted to its isolation in the middle of this impenetrable labyrinth.
Just step on my shoulder, go ahead, okay? Until this point, we all knew that there was no room for error. And then there was a little mistake made. A rock gave way under Megan's feet, and she fell on her left knee. She really hurt herself badly because her patella is visibly fractured. I don't know exactly what she's done, but anyway, I removed a piece of bone. In reality, for some time now, an evacuation for health reasons has been possible. Now we can call a helicopter, which can make it all the way here, because there's no point risking casualties trying to bring them back by a more restrained method, shall we say. So let's not forget, we're at the end of the world, and we can't take any gambles.
It's now 4 weeks that they've been traveling between the mountains and canyons of the Makai. The helicopter pilot informs Evard that they're only 8 hours' walk from the luxuriant valley.
It's so amazing.
Evard is relieved to have discovered it just before nightfall. But now they have to know where to make camp. Even though this place resembles an oasis, the Valley of Palms proves to be uninhabitable.
We are in a completely different zone. You have to understand that the entire bottom of the canyon is completely filled with water, so it's not the same vegetation. Here we have thousands of palm trees, pandanus, and other plants who live completely in the water. So it's very different from the forests that we have explored so far, which are fairly dry or semi-dry forests. So we don't have the same species, and therefore probably not the same species of birds. Also, probably not the same behavior from the lemurs, as you have the same species of lemurs here as in other forests, but they don't have the same food at all, so we can guess that they have slightly different behavior, rhythms, etc. We have 3 days ahead of us, 3 short days. That's all before going back. It's the end of the expedition, so we're going to try to give the maximum. Just to tell you also, when I said we're walking on palms, it's either walking on dry palms or walking in the mud and in the water. It's really a swamp, so there are places where it will be raised a little, but often will be in the mud. I've seen there are a few of you who have a problem with infections. I don't know if it's very clever to go in there when you have infections on your feet, legs, or elsewhere, but it's for you to decide. Come on, let's get to work. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, is this the one?
Yes.
Really? Where did you find it? Here?
Yes, just here.
The famous.
Pachypancax.
And how do you classify this as being the Pachypancax? I mean, how can you be certain? We don't know the species, but we do know the type. What are the principal characteristics of the Pachypancax?
In fact, it's his fins. This one is a male.
Is that adult size?
Yes.
Does the fact that the other Pachypancax species are all found in the north of Madagascar mean that a 7th one found here is automatically a new species?
Yes, it does. And then their habitat is totally different to the other species of Pachypancax. We're going to take some specimens and a piece of his pectoral or caudal tissue to do a genetic analysis.
Nothing spectacular, but it's always extraordinary to find a new species, especially at a time when biodiversity is under pressure. These places are so isolated, and without being able to interact with the rest of the world, all the species trapped here have mutated from their origins, therefore making them unique.
Right. I've seen better anchoring, but hey. Shall we start to pull?
Okay, you can go for it. It's fine.
For ornithologists, given the noise in this canyon, it must be teeming with life, and we thought it could be interesting to put a rope. You could call it a zip line between the two hillsides of the canyon, so they can position themselves in the morning, probably very early tomorrow morning, in the middle of the canyon to observe, record, and try and locate the birds that they haven't seen yet. Let's go. I just have to... Oh no, it's slack. That was good. I really got to see it close up. Some places affect you more than others. It's to do with how you've crossed it. That's to say, you've experienced it differently because you're suspended on a rope, because you're on a boat. Whatever the activity, the fact that you're not just on foot, but you've been at a different height, with a different point of view. That really gives a different experience and flavor to the discovery of the site. And after that, we heard that in the lake there were big fish, very big fish. Let's say big like this. Yesterday they said they were that big. Apparently there are even bigger fish, which are yellow, and others which are blue. So we tried, well, I tried to find a route to reach the lake with a small boat, a little pack raft, to attempt to fish on the lake. So, if possible, we could catch them. But this time it didn't work. The fish stayed very well hidden. We need to come back. If we want to succeed with protection, it's not by doing just one expedition. It's not by bringing 50 scientists in one go. It's everything behind that. Being present all year long, discussions with the villagers, with the chiefs of the villages, and that's a very long job. That takes several years or even several decades.
This was up there yesterday.
The mountains.
Yes, the mountains.
In any case, what is certain is that we need to have precise scientific elements to be able to say that such and such a species is here, and this species must be protected. The term often used is umbrella species. That's to say that we're studying species which are only present here, and by protecting them, we're going to protect their ecosystem, their environment, and the other species which interact with them.
Evard and his group, Nature Evolution, have battled for more than 10 years so that mankind never harms this natural setting. Thanks to all these expeditions, which reveal the biological richness, Madagascar has registered the Makai as a protected area, an act that benefits the whole planet.